Hello and welcome to UMAi Salami. Today we're making a Saucisson sec, which is a type of French slow-fermented dry sausage. It's made with 32 millimeter dry sausage casing, so it's a narrower sausage which will dry in only about 2 weeks. We used our artisan dry sausage kit in 32 millimeter from UMAi Dry. Now to make Saucisson sec, you're going to use 100% pork and pork back fat. We used a 4-spice, black pepper, cayenne. It's a very aromatic sausage. And your dry sausage kit will include all of the hard-to-find ingredients like the Bactoferm T-SPX starter culture, Dextrose, the Insecure No. 2, and of course UMAi Dry sausage casing. Now you're going to start with the meat pretty much frozen. We like to cut the meat into strips and freeze it, and then cube it and freeze it again. This fat, you can see, was quite thawed, and we refroze it again before we ground the meat. It's important to use very cold meat. Use the largest grinding plate because a very clear, large grind will yield the most evenly and quickly drying dry sausage. Now we're using wooden paddles to keep that sausage nice and cold as we add the cure mixture, salt, and Insecure No. 2. Then we're adding in the mixture of spices, again using the paddles to toss it in nice and evenly. And then only when you're ready to add your dissolved Bactoferm T-SPX starter culture are you going to incorporate that ingredient with the meat, kneading it with your hands so that you incorporate that really well until the meat begins to stiffen. That is really critical for having a nice texture to your finished product. Now after the meat is all mixed up well, we put it into the stuffer and laced the UMAi Dry 32 millimeter casing on and tied it off with a zip tie. You will get a packet of zip ties with the artisan dry sausage kit. You're going to stuff out one length of sausage, usually about 10 to 12 inches. Remember, you're going to hang these, so you don't want them to be too long. And then tie it off with a zip tie. And a technique that we found kind of helpful is when you leave about an inch or so, a couple centimeters of space between the first sausage and the second, zip tie off the starting point for that second sausage, and stuff them out in pairs like this. You've got them set up perfectly so that you can hang them in pairs for fermentation. Now remember, fermentation is going to be about 24 to 36 hours, enough time for the meat to brighten and deepen in color, and then you're going to move this into the refrigerator. You want to use a modern frost-free refrigerator, and make sure you use open wire racks. We use our unused oven for the fermentation, so again we're just using the equipment in a regular kitchen. Then put it into the fridge on the open wire rack and dry it for about 2 weeks. The sausage needs to lose 35 to 40% of its original weight for safety, and here you can see the results. The UMAi Dry gives it a nice clean surface, very even results, and UMAi Dry is just kind of a no-fuss casing to use. There's no sticking, there's no brittleness when you're stuffing it, and it yields wonderful results. This Saucisson sec had a wonderful aroma. We'd like if you give it a try. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for joining us here at UMAi Salami.